He's no ordinary ghost.
Yeah, you don't want his help.
Can you be scary?
What do you think of this?
Now, the party's over.
You want somebody out of the house? I want to get somebody out of your house.
But the fun has just begun.
It's showtime.
Beetlejuice, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it again, because I don't want that guy walking around here messing everything up and causing mayhem. Just don't. He seems like a great party guy, and I would like to party with him, but for him to kind of fix situations, yeah, I'll probably be going, yeah, I'll do it myself or find someone else. So, all right, Beetlejuice. All right, it's time to talk about it. So, I first saw this movie, I think, when I was a kid. I think it was around elementary school, maybe middle school. Didn't know what I was getting into, because when I saw it, you know, my family who had watched it before and loved it ever since, they kind of were going like, all right, we'll let him see it and maybe make up his own mind. And I did watch it, and I'm going, okay, 1, this is silly. 2, I understand why people like it. And 3, I really like this too. So, okay, so this was kind of when I think I like to say this is my first Burton movie, because then after this I saw his Batman movies, and then I think next was Sleepy Hollow, and then eventually I saw Mars Attacks, and that, if you want to talk about a cartoon, there you go. But this movie introduced me to Burton. It also introduced me to Michael Keaton. So this movie came about when Burton had just did Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I think they were trying to get this movie off of the ground, and they saw him as a potential candidate because of his visual style from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And this movie was also what started I like to say this movie started Burton's career, but not necessarily. It was from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but everybody says like, okay, that movie started his career, this one skyrocketed it. Because, like I said, afterwards he got to do Batman. I mean, Batman was his next movie. Then Mars Attacks and Sweeney Todd and Sleepy Hollow, and then that Planet of the Apes movie. We don't talk about that. If I have to find one, like crack in his career that I like to fill with concrete, it's that. It's his Planet of the Apes movie with Mark Wahlberg. But, this we ain't talking about that movie. We're talking about Beetlejuice. So, if you don't know Beetlejuice, come on. But it's about a husband and wife that are played by Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. And they live in this nice, very big house together that a real estate agent is trying to get them to sell, because they're like, oh, a nice family can live here. I'm like, I don't care. They're like, we don't care. But they die in a car crash thanks to a dog. Thanks, dog. But they come home and they find out that, like, okay, well, we're dead and they can't see us. So, like, what's going on? But the agent ends up selling the house, and then the Deets move in. And it's played by the the husband and wife are it was Jeffrey Jones and Catherine O'Hara, and they have a very emo daughter, Lydia, played by Winona Ryder. And this movie kind of, much like Keaton, kind of kicked off her career. So she's able to communicate with them, probably because she feels dead inside. But they seek help. They're saying like, "Hey, we want our house back. That's all we want." And they're like, "Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Knowing my parents, I don't think that's going to happen." So they call in the help of Beetlejuice. And their first meeting with him, he does give them some very nice facts about himself. Like, he studied at Juilliard, and he's seen The Exorcist 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time he sees it. So, he did have some qualifications to him. I'll give him that. But at the same time, he's very much, he's described as a very, I wouldn't say greedy, but very full of himself prankster. Like, he will, sure, he'll fulfill his part, but then he'll find a loophole and try to go into it. And yeah, that's, very much him. So I know a lot of people saying like, yeah, he only shows up for like, I would say maybe like 15-20 minutes through the entire movie. And, movie's named after himself. So I could see why people are like, we need more Beetlejuice. So then they made the cartoon, and I've heard a lot of people say like, cartoon was fine, but then they said, hey, we got a Beetlejuice 2 script called Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. Now this movie, it's exactly what it says. I believe it was the deeds by a property in Hawaii that's haunted by evil spirits, so they have to call Beetlejuice to help them out. So it would have been that, but there would have been more Beetlejuice. But the project never got off the ground. At one point, they did say that Burton and Ryder were going to return and do it, but they ended up getting busy. Like I said, Burton in the 90s, he did like so many movies, so he was busy. Keaton's career kind of skyrocketed and was getting casted a lot, and then Ryder's career was picking up. So they really couldn't find the time to do it, so the project never got off the ground. It wasn't until this year when they announced, yep, we're doing Beetlejuice 2, and we're getting Keaton back. Burton is coming back to direct. Ryder's coming back. O'Hara's coming back. They didn't say if Jones is coming back, because if you read more about him, yeah, he was not a good guy. Not meaning attitude, more like keeping pictures that he shouldn't have. So Hollywood kind of gave him the boot and kicked him. So they haven't said that, but I don't think I think they found a new script. I don't think it's the Hawaiian script, because personally to me, it's kind of like, all right, I understand that you're kind of doing the same thing as the first movie, but you're getting more Beetlejuice, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about like the approach that this is going. So I think they found a new script. This one involves Winona Ryder's Lydia Deetz, older, but still looking very, very emo. And this time she has her daughter with her that is being played by Wednesday's Jenna Ortega. And I mean, I've said it in my review for Wednesday, was Ortega is a really talented actress. And the first time that she was cast as Wednesday, I know a lot of people were going like, oh, we're not too sure about this, but I saw X and I think it was Scream 5, and going like, yeah, she's really good. So once it was announced, I'm like, yeah, I can see her doing it. So this would be her second time working with Burton. So, but unfortunately, they were filming it, and then production had to be delayed because of the strikes that are going on right now. So hopefully they can get that resolved soon, because there's a lot of movies that they're filming that I'm like, I want to see that, but I can't because of the strikes. So studios need to negotiate, because it's been going on for a while. But you know, overall, every time I see this movie, every time I watch it, it's always entertaining. It's always funny. I like how much lore they put into this. You know, like from the almost like purgatory, where it's like each door is a different like dimension or flow of time or anything like that. They put so much like little details like that into this, and it's just I love lore. So it was very creative the way they did it, and I was very, very surprised. I'm very happy about that. The acting is all really good. You know, I don't think there's a flaw in this movie. So probably saw this coming from a mile away, but of course this is getting an amazing. I think it's one of Burton's best. Is it in the competition of his very best film? It's up there, but I personally don't know yet. But it is one of his best, and every time I see it, it always makes me laugh, and yeah, I will continue to love it, and hopefully the second movie lives up to the potential that it needs to be.
It's showtime.
Learn to throw your voice, fool your friends, fun and party.
Not bad.
This is amazing.
Want a cigarette?
Oh, no, thank you.